Long way, get this shit a long way, this shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, long shit, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, gotta get the shit a long way. Gotta get the shit along, gotta get the shit. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way. But I gotta get the shit along, gotta get the shit along. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves. No, we gotta finish rich. No, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand, she just gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we got hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my palm strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be tripping back and forth like a palm way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done Tari. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I work it, got some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the palm way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get this shit the long way, 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 yeah, we get shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome. What's up, QJC? First in the room. Quentin. Miss AB, Arlene. What's up, NC Biggs? What's happening? Hello, everyone. My name is LJ Young, and I am the founder of SMD, SavingsMinusDebt. And I am here. You're probably thinking, well, what is my purpose? Because it don't seem like I'm selling anything or whatever. You're like, why is he here? I'm here to change your life forever. Okay, that's my purpose. I'm here to change your life forever, generationally too. All right, forever. All you gotta do is just listen. That's it. Or you can just come. You can do the fast track. You can come see me. I can just lay out the blueprint. You follow the blueprint, and then that's it. But if you want to try to do it on your own, hey, go right at it. I'm just here to tell you it's going to be very difficult to get to the level of understanding that capitalism is psychological. Okay, that's a gift. I'm just here to tell you it's a gift. And I'm here to share my gift for those of you that are just ready to, stop being debt slaves. You're probably thinking, what's a debt slave? A debt slave is a person that believes they can own things with no money of their own. That's called debt slaves. Debt slaves own nothing. Now, in psychological capitalism, guess what? Debt slaves, you guys are the currency, it's you. It's not the paper money, it's you. Okay? Once you understand capitalism is psychological, and then you turn around and say, oh, that's why the penalty for tax evasion is so severe. That's why. That's why, because it's the backbone of the whole thing. You're like, oh, now it makes sense. Like when you're a debt slave, you say stupid things like, hey, man, a person can get A person can go to prison for tax evasion the same amount of time for a murderer. That a light should go off in your head and just say, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. That person killed somebody and gets 20 years. This person does tax evasion and gets 20 years. Hey, that doesn't make sense. That's a sign to say there's something there that you can't see. That's what that means. Once I understood this, I see that, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. Then you start following the rules. You start following all the tax laws, Once you understand that you guys are the currency, you guys are everything, debt slaves. You guys are taxes. You guys are whatever, the stock market, retirement plans, that mortgages, car loan. That's you. All of that is you. So there is absolutely no reason to be cheating on your taxes. That's a no-no. Nope. That's a red flag. When you cheat on your taxes, guess what? That's a red flag that you don't know how to play. That's a red flag. There's something there that you don't know. If you're walking around with people that put their feelings inside of taxes, that's a red flag. You're like, hey, why are you adding your feelings to a thing? Taxes are a thing. When you hear somebody add their emotions to taxes, that means they don't understand taxes. How you know? They got the feelings involved. That's a thing. That's like walking up to a tree and start putting your feelings into a tree. Oh my God, this tree is making me cry. That's the same thing. That means you don't understand how taxes work. That's what that is. Anyway, you start following the rules. Once you understand how it works, you follow all the rules, you follow all the tax laws, you make sure you don't cheat and steal, lie to people, take their money, trick them, pretend like they're going to get rich overnight. You don't do none of that kind of stuff. That's not allowed here. Debt slaves are the currency. You guys have nothing. So there's absolutely no excuse to be stealing from people that have nothing. There is no reason for that. Without you, listen, debt slaves, without you, I couldn't be free without you. I understand that it must be this way. I do. The majority must be in debt and not know. You guys must not know you're debt slaves, okay? And there must be people that do know, because we're all human. None of this works without people, okay? So we're all human. That means every single one of us dies. So there must be people to replace us. So there must be people to replace all the debt slaves. And there must be people to replace the people that understand how it truly works, that capitalism is psychological. That's how it works. I'm not here to change anything or say, hey, the system's bad or good. Nope. The system is just the system. It's just there. The United States says, hey, this is our system right here. Okay, well, that's the system I use. Why? Because that's what they said. There's a positive side and there's a negative side of the system. If you're on the negative side, believing you own a home with a mortgage, you can't buy a house with a mortgage. Who told you that? The bank? Did the bank tell you that? You can't buy a house with a mortgage? Who said that? Oh, that's called business. That's called the housing market. The housing market couldn't exist without mortgages. I get it. Totally understand. Hey, whatever. It's just business. I don't care. I don't care what the banks charge you. I don't care if their interest rates goes up and down, triples, quadruples, if they put an arm in it, make a FHA. I don't care what they do. That's called business. The banks are not tricking me. Hey, LJ, would you like an FHA mortgage? No, bank. No, thank you. That's what I would say. Hey, LJ, you want to buy a house with a mortgage? I would turn to the bank and say, hey, bank, I know I can't buy a house with a mortgage. Why are you saying buy a house with a mortgage? Just say it what it is. Would I like to finance a house for 30 years? Is that what you're saying? No, thank you, bank. They're not tricking me. So this is a gift. And those of you that are new to my channel, I don't want you thinking that, hey, I'm just making this up. Everything I'm saying, I can put it on, I can prove it on a calculator. I just want to make sure that's understood. Okay. I will be known around the world. Do you understand? I will be known around the world. It's just hey, TikTok. It's just a matter of time. That's it. Just a matter of time. They're going to be comparing me to Einstein. You understand me? That's who they're going to be comparing me to. And you know, so crazy. The reason why I even say that, because I'm looking at Einstein quotes, right? I'm just I'm just adding to them. Hey, E equals MC squared. Hey man, it's got to be that. They're going to be comparing me to him. It's just a matter of time. That's it. Now, I also am here to make sure you guys understand it ain't got nothing to do with your age, okay? Don't think it's because something to do with your color of your skin, your age, if you're too old, you're too young. It has not math doesn't care about the color of your skin or your age or nothing. It doesn't. 1 plus 1 equals 2. If you are 2, or if you're 82, it's still 2. If you're 52, it's still 2. If you're 42, it's still 2. It doesn't matter. I had let me see where I can find that thing. Just a second here. How do I get to that? Is that one? Chrome tab. But just a second here. Okay. Now check this out, okay? Andre sent me this. And I'll put it in the details of this video because I wasn't going to bring it up at first, but I wanted to run this. I wanted to read this to you guys so you guys can understand why websites like this do this. And now I'm going to read it from a psychological capitalism perspective, okay? I'm going to translate it for what it really is, okay? So you guys can understand what it means, because I now understand that you guys are the currency. It's you. Okay. It's not the paper. It's not the silver. It's not the gold. It's not the jadeite. It's none of that. It's you. Okay. So we're going to read this. Okay. Let me read this slowly. I'm paycheck to paycheck. What that means is this. It doesn't matter how much money you make. Okay. You guys that are making $30,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. Guess what? This person making 6 figures is living paycheck to paycheck too. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. You guys are in debt. It doesn't matter. I make $350,000 a year. That's probably gross. And guess what? When you make that much money and you're double that in debt, guess what? You have no way to reduce your tax bracket. That is 100% mathematically impossible to reduce your tax bracket when you're in debt. It's impossible. So this guy that's in the $350,000 gross amount a year tax bracket, guess what? That's how much taxes he's going to pay, and there's absolutely nothing he can do about it because he's in debt. Okay? But I have $88,000 in student loan debt, $170,000 in car loans, and a mortgage I pay $4,500 a month on. Do I need professional help? Now, I don't know if this article is made up because they put so many bad things in this article. It's ridiculous. Okay. And then add in the last sentence, do I need a professional? Of course you do. What are you talking about? But that's part of the article. Okay. Then they have a picture of a lady. I could have swore they've used this picture many times on different type of articles. Some lady in front of a calculator looking like she's smart doing something. I don't know. By the end of 2022, I will have made $350,000 before taxes. Yeah. As the sole breadwinner of the household. I already knew that. But this is the great starting point. This is a great starting point, and I'm very aware how blessed we are to be in this position, but I'm always looking ahead on how to improve. I currently have $88,000 left in student loan debt. Originally it was 150, and very little credit card debt, less than 2,000 with more than 25K available. I'm not sure why he told us how much is available. That doesn't mean anything. I think that's just to show off to let you. I think that when they add stuff like that, I think that's to impress you guys that are reading this. Oh my God, he's got a $25,000 credit. That's to impress you guys, debt slaves. You. It doesn't mean anything. He's like, hey, look how much money. This is how I see it. Hey, look how much money the bank is willing to loan me. Okay, whatever. I have two auto loans totaling $170,000. So what that means, he's got cars. Obviously, he can't afford because he's got car loans, right? But obviously, he's saying to the outside, he's making the outside world look like he's got more money than he has, because if he has two cars totaling that, those are two nice cars. Two electric vehicles that look at, he says two electric vehicles at 5%. 5% of what? What are you talking about? He's $170,000 in debt, in car loan debt. And then at the end, he says at 5% interest. What? Are you crazy? What are you talking? You're happy to be at 170 grand in debt and you're okay with it because it's at 5%? That's debt slave speak. That's called debt slave splaining. That's what that's called. Okay. I still can't tell if this article is made up. It's just like crazy stuff up in there. Okay. I've been offered a $200,000 HELOC at 9%, which would help me bring down some of my monthly payments and do some small home repair improvements. But I want to make the right moves and also have been presented with a long-term real estate investment. This what that is, okay? You got to remember, debt slaves, everything you guys do go through the bank, okay? Everything. So they already know if you're in trouble, if you're going to do something. So maybe they're offering this guy this HELOC because he's so deep in debt. They might as well borrow some money, have him fix up the house because he thinks it's his, have it because he's about to lose it. One accident, one job reduction, his whole world is toast, right? So they're offering him, they see he's in trouble, offer him a HELOC at an awesome interest rate so he can do some home improvements. So by the time he's kicked out, the home is already upgraded to sell for even more for the next debt slave. I've also been presented with a few long-term real estate investment opportunities that are rental properties out of the state and are currently bringing in 10 to 12% ROI. He has no idea what he's talking about. Nothing. You can't buy no rental properties with no money. You can't buy rental properties with $170,000 worth of car loan debt. You can't, and $88,000 of student loan debt. And if his mortgage is about $4,500, he's probably about $800,000 in mortgage loan debt. He ain't mentioning that there. I'm just going by his monthly payment. That sounds like a $700,000-$800,000 house to me. But my biggest concern is the after taxes 401k contribution, bill, savings, mortgage, 4,500 on paper. I'm paycheck to paycheck. I'd like to use this HELOC to consolidate the debt while also participating in some of the investment opportunities. But I'm the first of my generation to own a home. He thinks he owns the house. See what I'm saying? First in my generation to own a home and the first to earn this much annually and don't want to mess it up. It's already messed up. How specifically can a financial advisor help me? Answer, you have a few questions to tackle here. So let's get one by one. Let's see what this person says. I never really go this far, but the first thing, the HELOC. Yes, HELOCs can be a good way to consolidate debt, but the rate you're being offered isn't favorable as average HELOC rate. Does this person work for the bank? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like the person answering this question works for the bank. A HELOC? No, a HELOC is no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would ask if the 9% is the best rate for you. Can you, of course, the bank already knows what kind of trouble this guy is in because all of you guys' stuff that you guys think you own, it all goes to the bank. So they already know where you're at. You start missing payments and stuff like that, they already know you're in trouble. Hey, better get this HELOC. You know what you guys are going to do? This is what you guys are going to do. You guys will get a HELOC, and it's bananas how easy the bank, well, everything your whole life goes through them, okay? Because so they know, right? You get a HELOC, you're going to fix up the house, and guess what you're going to start doing? Start paying the mortgage with some of the HELOC money. They already know you're going to do that. It's just business. Nothing's wrong with it. I don't care how they do it. I don't care what the banks do to debt slaves. I don't care. I'm just sharing something with you, okay? That's called business. If you guys believe you could buy a house with a mortgage, that's called business. If you believe you can pay off everything but the mortgage and then start putting away 15% in retirement while having a mortgage, that's called business, because you can't. You can't do any of that. You can't. You can't save for retirement while having a mortgage. You can't save for retirement while having student loan debt. You can't do that. And this person's answering like they work for the bank. I would ask if 9% rate appears high. Says Chris Chin, certified. Look at this, is what they love doing, the titles after their names. Chris Chin, certified financial planner at Insight Financial Strategies. That's for you guys, to impress you guys, debt slaves. Hey, if they work for that place, they must be smart. No, they work for the bank. That's what they do. What's more, I would like you to consider the potential impact that our Fed policy and inflation are having on interest rates, as HELOCs usually have a variable interest rates of this, and we're in an environment with rising rates. You may start at 9% and end up significantly higher. What's more, your student loan, car loan, mortgage are likely less than 9%. So it's not likely. Look at all this. Hey, just all they have to do is say, hey, guy, you can't do nothing. You're in debt. You have to get out of debt, and then you can invest in other things. But until you have, you need somebody to say, hey, you need money to invest. You have no money. You have no money. What do you mean I have no money? You have 170,000. Listen, I would tell the dude like this. I'd be like, hey, man, you got $170,000 in car loan debt, and you think you're saving money on gas because you got an electric car at 5%. That makes absolutely no sense, any mathematical sense anywhere. Nowhere. People with finance cars, listen. If you got a finance electric car, I got some bad news for you. You're not saving money on gas, okay? You're making payments. If you're making payments on the car, it doesn't matter how the car is powered. It's powered by you, debt slave. You're the power. You're the electricity. You're the gasoline. I don't care if they're making motherfuckers run on water. It's you. You're everything, debt slaves. It's you. You guys are everything. Shout out to NC Biggs. I'm sorry for the 1999 super chat. Thank you, sir. Mad respect, man. I'm in the Philippines. Wow, life is great. I owe my start to you people listening to his process. Appreciate it, sir. He is in the Philippines. Wow. Okay. What's up, Jewel? Sherigan? I'm going to just tell you guys straight up, okay? I have red money, which is going to represent negative money. Okay. Now, negative money is just as real as positive money, but it's psychological. Okay. It's still real. It's still there. Know how I know it's there? Because the calculator says it's there. That's what the calculator says. The calculator says, yep, that's what it is. Negative whatever, and negative dollars. I'm taking something. So, because debt slaves, you guys don't believe anything unless it's like, it's weird. Sometimes you guys will believe psychological things and sometimes you won't. It's just the weirdest things, right? If I show you the red, the red money and said, this is negative money, since you've never seen it, I'd be like, hey, though, it's psychological, right? You'll be confused because I have it in my hand, but it's like a physical representation of it, right? You'll call me crazy, right? But then you'll go and say, "Hey, I believe in cryptocurrency." Well, cryptocurrency is a psychological currency. It's not a physical currency. Credit is a psychological currency. It's not a physical currency. Here in the US, in the United States of America, they say, "Hey, we only use this physical currency here." Yeah, and if anybody else try to change that, you're going to prison. That's the only physical currency here. Okay? All other currency, those are psychological currencies, except the natural ones. What you guys don't know, debt slaves, digital currency that's nothing new. It's not new. You guys whole lives you guys have been digital currency your whole entire life because you are the currency, debt slaves. It's you. The value of each currency is determined by the person holding it at the time. That's how it's determined. If you have an ounce of gold in your hand, that say like the gold is worth the current rate, let's say $1,800 an ounce right now, right? And you have a piece of gold, an ounce of gold in your hand worth $1,800, right? But if you open up the calculator and put in 1,800 minus your student loan debt and hit enter, the calculator is going to say you don't have no gold in your hand. There's no gold there. You're going to look at the gold in your hand. You're going to be like, but I see it. The calculator is going to say, well, I don't care what you think you see, but you don't have no gold in your hand. There's no gold. It's you guys. This is what makes it the gift, okay? Once you understand this, your whole life is going to change. You're going to follow the rules. You're going to follow all the tax laws. You're going to because that's what you're supposed to do. That's how it works. You have to do that. I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna give you guys some advice that's worth $1 million. Just one simple piece of advice worth $1 million. If you want to get your taxes straight, personal or business, go seek a tax professional who is personally debt free. I'm going to say that one more time. Go seek a tax professional who is personally debt free. Not only will this person know something that 99% of their peers the peers in the exact same field do not. They will know that. This person will, whatever state they're in, they'll have all the necessary licenses and documents or whatever that state requires, whatever that city requires. This person will have all of it, and every single bit of it will be up to date. You go see that person, you pay them whatever they're worth because they'll bring you back tenfold. You pay them whatever, and you tell them I sent you. They say, "Hey, man, this guy SMD, he said look for a tax professional who is personally debt free. They said you would know something that many of your people in the exact same business as you would not know." You say that just like that to them. You say it. Now they're going to they're going to give you a shocked look. The reason the shocked look is going to happen because they will have never had anybody ever ask them that question before, ever. So that's what the shock. Then they're going to probably ask you, "Who told you to say that to me? Who said that?" What did he call it? Psychological capitalism. They probably will never have heard it called that before. But once they hear it, they'll put two and two together and be like, "Oh yeah, he's right. Okay, got it." Man or woman, it doesn't matter. This is what I strongly suggest, to tell you the truth. This is what I strongly suggest. If you are in, put it this way, if you are a tax professional and you are not, I repeat, not, N-O-T, not personally debt free and never have been, you need to come see me ASAP. I will change your life and I will change your business. If you are a young person looking to be in the tax field, attorney, anything tax, whatever, and you've never been personally debt free, you need to come see me. I help you become the best, and whatever you're going to do in that area, you'll be the best, and nobody will know how you're doing it. You'll thank me for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. You don't have to be scared of the IRS. If you just, all you gotta do is just follow the laws, and you stop being scared of the IRS. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to worry about IRS agents. You don't have to worry about being audited. All you gotta do is follow the laws. That's it. You don't even have to know about all that tax stuff. You just go to a professional tax person who is personally debt free and say, here, straighten up my shit. Here, put it together. This person, this tax professional, will make sure it's done correctly before giving it to the IRS. When they give it to this person, when this person gives it to the IRS, everything will be done properly. In the bright boxes, everything answered properly, everything, all the proof, the receipts needed, everything will be for the IRS right there. So they don't have to look for nothing, because all the numbers will add up. That's how it works. They will straighten your stuff out, get it all straight. Once they put it, and then you just, after they organize it and put it together for you, and then you just have to learn it. Once you learn the new and the proper way of doing things, your new way will be your new way. That's how it'll be. What's up, Lumina? I keep coming back, to I can't, I come back every now and then because something. Hold on for a second. 1 second, you guys. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. Forgot I had to do something really quick here. But anyway, now, once you understand capitalism is psychological, the financial world becomes quiet. And the reason why it becomes quiet, because debt slaves are everything. They are everything. Okay. It just is. That's just the way it is. It doesn't matter how or why. That's just how it works. But it's all a choice, because the system is positive and negative. You get to choose which side of the system you want to be on, the positive side or the negative side. If you're on the negative side, you're pushing money away from you. If you're on the positive side, you're attracting it to you. When you're a debt slave, when you guys talk about money, you don't calculate the time in your life. You guys just don't even think about it. It's like, hey, money, money, money. But what about the time in your life? One day you're going to be dead. One day the sand's going to run out. And then what? Once you own yourself, the order of life turns, when you're a debt slave, the order of life is money's number one, time is number two. That's what you guys talk about. That's why you guys always talk about money, because it's always number one. Once you own yourself, the order changes from time is number one, money's number two. And that order never changes ever again, ever. It never changes. One thing you don't realize, once after owning yourself, you understand that, oh shit, my time here is limited. You totally, when you're a debt slave, so wrapped up in all the drama and the fighting and the this and that and money and this, but when you get out of it and own yourself, you're like, wait a minute, my time here on earth is limited. Sure is. That's what, see all the graveyards. You just drive down the street mad and angry. You guys are driving down the street and there's graveyards, along the side of the road. Those people were here before you. Do you realize that? Every time you drive past a graveyard, just remember that. Those people were here before you. Some hundreds, 150 years before you, before they died. Once you own yourself, you never forget that. That is never forgotten ever. Then everything is calculated with time. Time's first, and then money. You don't know that. Like when I was a debt slave, I didn't know the 40-hour work week was a program. I did not know that. I remember hearing it a couple times. Hey, why 40 hours a week? Why 8 hours a day? People joke, hey, that's what the rich do. That's true. That is true. The rich probably made that up. I'm here to tell you that's true. What are you going to do about it? If you know the 40-hour work week is a program created by the wealthy, you either just accept it or it's time for you to become part of the wealthy. You got a choice. You don't have to be there. You can choose to be part of the wealthy instead of being mad at them. The wealthy are not like what you think. They're not like, hey, you can't have no money. Yeah, we're evil and we're just all corrupt and we want to just not. That's TV. That would be an absolute waste of time to do that to people. And when you understand how it works, you don't waste the time in your life on dumb, frivolous stuff. You don't do that. You don't do that anymore. That stops. That just no arguing, no court, no going, fighting in court for divorce and drama and baby. That stuff doesn't happen. You probably hear me say that and say, what does that have to do with it, LJ? Let me tell you something. When you own yourself, I'm going to just be blunt so you guys can understand what happens in your life once you own yourself. Once you own yourself, you would never have a relationship with a woman who doesn't own themselves, with a person, with a person that doesn't own, because it doesn't matter, man or woman. Once you own yourself, that's it. Man or you won't have a relationship with a person like that. So it would never, if they're in debt, it would never even get close to marriage, having children. None of that would happen. No, so you don't really have to worry about divorce court and lawyers and having a judge dictate your money, because you won't be doing that kind of stuff. When you own yourself, guess what else you realize? What's the most important organ in your whole body? Your brain. Your brain, once I own myself, I realize my brain is everything. And guess how the only way that I know of, I'm not a doctor, I'm just assuming, it just makes sense. The only way the brain can repair itself, I have to be asleep for it to repair itself. That means I can't be doing nothing. I used to always, as a kid, I used to say to myself, why do we have to sleep? Totally forgetting about the brain in my head. It needs sleep. It needs me to be asleep. They probably have dreams like putting on a movie at the dentist's office so you can watch a movie while it's doing its work. But imagine if you're working 60, 70 hours a week, stressed out, you got kids, and what kind of sleep, if you get any sleep at all, if you got overtime, what kind of sleep do you think you're going to be getting? Not much. And imagine that over year after year after year. What you guys should notice this is what's crazy. This should really help you notice something, okay? How powerful the brain is. Okay, this is how powerful the brain is. The brain can go for years of overtime work, drinking, bad food, stressed out, arguing, bad relationships, hardly. And anytime you do get sleep, it's very little, and the very little sleep is bad. This can happen for years. The brain can act, and while it's no sleep, listen, the brain does everything. You got to drive, you got to go places, you got to make two appointments. You need your brain to do all of that, and it's doing that for years with no sleep. Imagine what your brain could do if it got the proper sleep. If it got the sleep that it needed to do the work that it needs to do. Can you imagine? Hey man, I love sleep. I love sleep. I remember when I first quit my job, I swear I slept for the first 6 months. I slept till like 2 and 3 o'clock every single day. Going through all, oh man, I feel lazy. I feel like a bum. No, you know what that was? My brain was like, oh my God, let me just make up for all this time that I didn't get this sleep. I swear that went on like 6, 7 months. It was like after about month 7, my brain was like, okay, that's enough. All right, cool. Let's start doing some stuff now. Because I swear to you, I swear, 6, 7 months of straight sleeping. I don't care what day it was every single day. QJC says, it's amazing how we all learn this information in elementary school. Yes. Now, when most of us become in the society, we forget the basic fundamentals of math. And I think when I look now that I understand capitalism is psychological, and I think about that, right? And remember, this is just I, I'm not saying the government's negative. I'm not saying they're doing anything bad. I'm just saying I understand why and how it works the way it works. It's pretty obvious, right? They showed me math and money. They helped me understand money and math in elementary school. I remember that. It's not up to them to say, hey, LJ, hey, Linnell, now that you're adult, remember what we taught you in elementary school. I know everybody around you is not doing it, but remember that's not their job, right? That's our parents' job. Like if I had this information as a young adult parent, my kids would have grew up a totally different way. They would have totally understood that capitalism is psychological and ignore the way everybody around us is doing it. Okay, those are dead slaves. I will help them understand why they don't know what they're doing. Why do they believe they own houses with mortgages? I will help them understand there's just business. That's how it works. Whatever. It's not illegal. It's legal. That's how you do it. It's business. So that way, as they grow up, they won't involve their feelings into when they see their friends and their family members going in debt and thinking they're owning stuff. And you just want, because when you see your loved ones doing it, when your loved ones are just digging themselves in the hole and you can't really do anything about it, you start getting emotionally involved because you know what they're doing. You got to leave it alone because debt is the colorblind slave master. It doesn't care the color of your skin, if it's your family, if it's your kids, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I do, and I accept that. Many people won't understand, but I understand that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it is. Again, I'm not here to change anything. I like it just the way it is. It, once you understand, it's so amazing. You just want to see more and more of it to see how it all works. it gets bigger and more pieces connected. Like, oh, the pieces going all over the world. Yeah, it's all over the world. They're all doing the same thing. Is it capitalist? Yeah, that's the same thing. Wow, that's weird. We got a student loan debt problem here in Canada, in Australia. Where else? I don't know. Well, it's all the same. It doesn't matter. That's how it works. You don't have to be in student loan debt. You could just get a job or create a business and pay it off. That's how you do it. You don't have to wait for the president to sign something to try to wipe it out. You don't have to wait. You can pay it off yourself starting today. Just like I did, just like other S&B family members did. You don't have to wait on anything. It really, what you guys don't really understand, it doesn't matter unless your student loan debt, say like they forgive the 10,000. Unless your student loan debt is $10,000, there's really no benefit for you. Because if you ain't got the money to pay off the rest, what does it matter? It'll be back up there in interest in a few years because you're not going to pay it off anyway. So what does it matter? Hold on. All right. That's why, I can imagine. Now, don't get me wrong. I can imagine you coming to this channel and you hearing a guy that says, "Hey, excuse me, I'm gonna be known all over the world." Now, you hear a person say that, the first thing you're gonna do is look at the subscriber count, say, "Oh man, he's only got 4,000. He's not, whatever's." You got to remember, you got to catch yourself all this stuff running through your head. And then when you catch yourself doing that, you got to kind of like browse through the content and say to yourself, is there any content like this anywhere on the internet? Not just YouTube, the internet. The internet. The answer will be no. No. LJ, if you get a chance, check out Borrower Future by Dave Ramsey. It's on YouTube. Borrow Future. Okay. I think I might have seen that, but I gotta, and even with Dave Ramsey, I always try to tell you guys, it's business. Psychological. Once you understand capitalism is psychological, it's just business. Dave Ramsey says, "Hey, pay off everything but the mortgage. As soon as you get down to the mortgage, start putting away 15% into retirement." But you can't do that if you have a mortgage. You can't save for retirement while having a mortgage. You can't do that. But he'll have some investor pros that will tell you otherwise at a price. That's called business. Nothing's wrong with it. Who cares? I don't care. Doesn't matter. I'm just showing you guys something, okay? It's business. No different than the bank telling you that you could buy a house with a mortgage, or if they told you that, or maybe you just think that. That's called business. When you can't do that. You can't buy a house with a mortgage. The bank knows your whole lives, you guys. It's just bananas. And it's okay. I don't care. I'm just saying. Okay, who cares? I don't really care what they do. Put it this way. Say it like this. Say like there's a neighborhood that's going to be gentrified, right? It's not really a shock which neighbor can be easily gentrified. People that are late on their payments, can't afford, barely staying above water on plans that trying to remove the payments to the back, reverse mortgages. All you got to do is increase some taxes. Those are the first people that are out because they can't afford it already. This is not a projection or anything. It's just like, hey, the banks can just look at their pull up on the computers. Hey, what is the percentage of people over here that are not paying their mortgage payments on time? The computer just spits it out and say, hey, it's 80%. Okay, well, we're gonna change that neighborhood. How? Just raise the taxes in that neighborhood. You guys are out. What are all they got to do is just what are the percentage of people in that neighborhood that have mortgages? 99%. Okay, what's the out of those 99% of people, how many people can barely keep up? Probably 80% of that 99%. You can choose to be on the wealthy side. You know, when you get news reports, they're always trying to down the wealthy. Hey, tax them. You guys just don't hear it because you guys are the taxes. Okay, it's you. Okay, tax the wealthy. What do you mean tax them? They know it's you. It doesn't matter if taxes get raised because you guys are the taxes. You guys are going to be paying them. It doesn't matter. You have to, in order to reduce your taxes, you cannot be in debt. It's 100% mathematically impossible to reduce your tax bracket while being in debt. You can't do that. There is no way to do that. You can't. But say like this, say like this. Say like you have a mortgage and you are contributing to your retirement plan every month or however you contribute to it, right? If you believe you can contribute to a retirement plan while having a mortgage, that makes you the retirement plan. That instantly makes you the retirement plan because you can't do that. If you believe you are investing in the stock market while you have a car payment, you are the stock market because you cannot invest in the stock market while making car payments. You can't do that. You get it? That makes you the stock market. It's you. If you finance a new iPhone every year, that makes you the iPhone. You're the iPhone. It's you. What makes you because you're financing it. If you're financing a new iPhone every year, you are the new iPhone every year. It's you because you're financing the iPhone. Instead of stopping and say, hey, wait a minute, I've been working all my motherfucking life. You mean I can't buy an iPhone in cash? No, there lies the problem. I've been working since 16 and I just financed the iPhone 14. You've been working for 20 years and you don't have the money to buy an iPhone in cash? That should be red flags should be going off in your head. But you guys think it's normal. You think it's normal to finance iPhones. That's normal for people who finance iPhones. See, you don't know to stop and say, hey, wait a minute. Maybe it's only normal for me and my friends because we all finance iPhones. That's why it's normal. That's why you guys are friends, because you guys all finance iPhones every year. You think Apple would be selling this many phones if you guys wasn't financing them? Of course not. That's called business. I don't care what Apple does. Congratulations, Apple. Congratulations. When you understand how it works, you congratulate big companies like that. Congratulations, Apple, Tesla, hey, whatever. Congratulations. What's up, Andre Omanike? Friday is a debt slave holiday while it's just another day for debt-free people. Exactly. See, as a debt slave, you might read that because you guys look forward to Fridays. All the businesses say, "Hey, today's Friday, this Friday, drinking Friday, whatever." They just make up stuff, right? I get it's business, not a big deal, because you guys think Friday is a big deal. It's a big deal to you, but to people that know, it's just Friday. When you own yourself, you don't go by the calendar anymore. You don't go by the clock on the wall. That it just does. You only need, like, when you have dates and times and appointments. That's the only time you use the clock. Use time, and you use the calendar. That's it. I don't need it. I don't need to know what day it is every day. I don't care if it's Tuesday or Wednesday. If I don't have an appointment, I don't care what the day it is. I don't. I don't care the time of the day unless I have an appointment to go somewhere. But other than that, I don't care what time it is. Now, don't get me wrong. When I was coming out, when I was a debt slave at first, coming out of the debt matrix, I was I was feeling bad. I didn't know what the day and time was. I was feeling like I was a bum or something. And you don't really understand that that's just the residual stuff off the debt matrix. And then once you get out, it's like, oh, I don't need to know that. No, I don't. Like, when you're a debt slave, you need to know what time it is all the time. What time is it? What time is it? Hey, what time is it? What time is it? You guys don't know that that's a red flag. If you always need to know what time it is, I'm telling you, that's a red flag, because I don't care what time it is. Unless I have an appointment, that's the only time I care. But I put that in my phone. I don't even want to think about that. Just, hey, call this person at this time on this day. Set. That's it. Done. Out of my brain. This information will change not only your life, for generations. Not just you, your children, your grandchildren. You better believe this information is passed down from the families of the people that know. Of course, of course. If you just look around, it's pretty apparent who understands that capitalism is psychological. And I'm not just talking about somebody you see that looks rich. I'm talking much bigger than that. Bigger than that. Mm. Sometimes I'll reflect, but I really understand that I got this gift at this age because I'm mature enough to handle this gift. You have to be very mature to be able to handle this gift. You have to be. Because you don't, you just have to be. Because it can be taken away just as it was given to me. It can be taken away. This is clearly a gift. Like now I have for example, the red money. You guys really don't understand what that really represents. The red money, the negative money. You guys really don't understand what that means. That's good. You got that. What that's going to do, the best way I can explain this, what that's going to do is take something, like I said earlier, take something that's psychological and make it physical for you guys to see it. Because you guys won't believe something exists unless you can hold it but then again, you guys believe in cryptocurrency. It's a two-way street. I don't know, because you guys can't see or hold cryptocurrency, but you guys believe in it. So I'm just trying to, it's very difficult to explain to you guys, because you guys believe one thing. You believe in cryptocurrency even though you can't see it. You believe in equity, you think it's money. You think appreciation is money. You guys think it because that's what you guys believe. But this red money, negative money, will give a example of a different side of things, that you still participate in the system. You still do, but just in a positive way instead of a negative way. You're not going to live your life being scared of the IRS because you're going to follow the laws. You're not going to be stressed. You're not going to believe stress is just part of life. No, it's not. Stress is not part of life. That is a lie. You don't have to walk around every day talking about, oh, I'm just surviving. You'll stop talking like that. And you'll stop hanging around people that talk like that. Then you'll stop hanging around people that believe car payments are normal. They own houses with mortgages. They think they're investing in more, refinancing a house to invest in rental property and think they're making a cash flow. You'll stop hanging around people like that. You'll stop following YouTube channels and Facebook pages of people pretending to have money, or when all you have to do is say, hey, can we see your personal credit report? It will tell us and show us if you're really living the way you're showing us. Did you guys know that? Any channel you're watching on the internet, any financial Facebook page you follow that looks like they're living the life because you see the cars they drive, you see how everybody in their family is, the house is beautiful. All you have to do is say, hey, let us see your personal credit report. Let us see it. Because if I owned a finance firm, listen, if I owned a finance firm and a potential client that wanted to do business with me, they say, hey, are you the owner? Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I'm the owner. Can I see your personal credit report? I'll say, yes, you can. Here you go. For two reasons. Because if anybody asks that question, they obviously know. And I will show them, look, you know why? Because it's blank. There's nothing on it. Your credit report is an owner's ledger. That's what that is. It shows that I have no owners. You can't own if you are owned. You can't own anything if you are already owned. You can't own anything. Log into your online credit report, scroll down past the credit score. You see all those businesses listed? Those are all your owners. You can't own a house and owe them all those businesses at the same time. You can't do that. You are owned. That's all you got to do. Hey man, this guy sounds like he's got some serious good financial. He or she, it doesn't matter, he or she. All you got to do is let us see your you want me to buy from you? Yeah, let us see your personal credit report. We need to know if we're taking the finance. Listen, this is how you guys really need to understand how it works. If you're taking financial advice from a person who is in personal debt, you're taking financial advice from a debt slave, the negative side of the system. Do you understand? Because you're taking financial advice from a person that doesn't even own themselves. They're giving you financial advice. They don't even own themselves. They're giving you financial advice from the negative side of the system because they are negative. My credit report proves that I own myself. I own me. What that means is that any kind of mathematical advice I give, it's going to make sense because I'm starting from zero. Not under zero, not negative. I'm starting at zero because I'm not in the negative. I read that article earlier, Andre, that you had sent me. Just rewind later on, you can kind of see what I was talking about. Any questions? This journey is, I ain't gonna lie, this journey is crazy, man. This is just bananas. Some of you guys, a year from now, 2 years from now, hell, maybe even 10 years from now, if YouTube is still around, you guys are going to come back to these videos, and then one day it's just all going to click. Because each video that I make, listen, each video that I make will never, ever be out of date. Why? Because psychological capitalism will always be here, at least as long as I'm going to be alive, for sure. For sure. And as long as capitalism is here, psychological capitalism is also here. They go hand in hand together. Have to. Soon, I will meet other people that know. There's a lot of noise out here, a lot of noise, okay? It's very difficult for somebody that knows to hear me. But slowly but surely, it will happen. I'm going to come across that one high school rookie player that's just about to get drafted to the pros, and he's going to come across my channel. Then I'm going to help he or she. Then it's going to change the game. She's going to share it with her friends, and so on and so on and so on. That's how it's going to happen. Because I can only imagine. Sometimes I always try to put myself in that situation as a young adult, about to get ready to get drafted, and have this knowledge at the time I'm getting drafted. Oh man. I don't care what pro league it is. You come in as a young person with this knowledge, they're gonna be like, who in the fuck have you been talking to? You better believe it. You better believe it. Believe that. Believe that. And you know how much, can you imagine with this knowledge as a rookie player? You see how much they get paid for sports, right? All it would take is one contract. Just one contract, you're set. One contract with SMD knowledge, you're set for life. Say like this. If I could go back, say like I played football, but I wouldn't, now that I understand how I need my body to walk around on earth, I probably would have never played football. But anyway, I never did. But anyway, if I played football, I was really good and I was about to get drafted with this, and I had SMD knowledge, I would play for one season, maybe, because I know my body. Once your body's messed up, that's it. And you need your body to walk around on earth. I would just play my one, not one season, but my one contract, whatever that would be, and then I'd be out. That's it. Take all that money. With SMD knowledge, I would keep, oh man, that's all the money I would need. That's it. And then I'd be set for life, period. I'd be set. Because some of those guys, they'll get drafted, then they get stuck with the money and the fame, right? Totally forgetting that if they get on the field and they could possibly get paralyzed or die. See, they don't really think about that. It's just bananas, right? That you could possibly die playing a sport that you don't have to play. Like thinking about this. In their contract, NFL players, somewhere in the contract, it says, hey, you could possibly die playing this sport, right? What if you went and got a job, not a police officer, not a firefighter, those guys know, I'm talking about a regular job. Say like it was a computer job or a janitorial job, and they said, hey, by the way, you could possibly die at this job. Would you still take that job? I'm just a computer person. Yeah, but it's a possibility you could die. I'm not taking that job. Or something break, yeah, they can get your body back up, but trust me, once something breaks or snaps, it's never the same ever. Never. It's never the same. And if you do that, injure yourself at a young age, and you're then on top of that, you're not taking care of yourself, you're gonna be one broke down dude by the time you reach my age. Not many dudes looking the way I look at 52. I can promise you that. And that's all because I made a decision in my 30s to not let my body go. I made a decision. Thank God I made that decision. Thank God I did that. Because some guys I'll be seeing now, I'll be like, damn, that dude's the same age as me. You're 52? You really start to see, put it this way, you guys, okay? So the younger you get this, the better. When you get my age, 52, going on 53 in December, you're going to start to see the guys. You can really see how people have been taking care of their bodies. See, you'll start to see who's been abusing their bodies all these years and who's been taking care of their body all these years. You could see it. Teeth gone, hunched over, limping, bad health, diabetes. It's bananas. It's crazy. You better take care of yourself. You better do it. Sexual problems. Don't be caught up in the young dude. Oh man, he's old, man. His shit probably don't work, and they be fat, eating burgers every day just because it's working because they're in their 30s and the 20s. Bellies looking like they're pregnant, 9 months pregnant, stomachs in your 30s. I remember one time my friend said he had lost some weight, and he had a big old stomach, and he lost some weight. He lost some weight and lost the stomach. He's like, man, I ain't seen my stuff in a long time. I was like, what? Hold on. He said, man, I lost my stomach, man. I ain't seen my stuff in many years. I was like, that was something I never even thought about because that has never happened to me. I didn't realize dudes with big stomachs, when they stand at the urinal, they can't even see the stuff because their stomach's too big. I was like, it kind of blew my mind. I was because that's something I never thought about because that's never happened. Don't let yourself get like that. Don't do it. If you put it this way, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. I'm gonna get off. Debt is causing the majority of your stress. I promise you that, because stress doesn't have to be part of life. It doesn't have to be, but debt is causing the majority of your stress. You get rid of the debt, you're going to start treating your body better, getting in better health, because you're going to have something to look forward to. You won't be at work all the time. You won't be begging for overtime all the time and calling your job your second home, and your work husband or your work wife or whatever. You'll stop doing all that stupid nonsense. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you later. Leave a comment. SavingsMinusDebt.com. If you schedule an appointment, you want to talk to me. CashApp, SavingsMinusDebt. And you can email me at SavingsMinusDebt@gmail.com. All right. All right. You guys have a wonderful night. Later.